Hey guys, how you doing? I'm out at the shop. It's been a couple weeks. I took a little bit of a break. That YouTuber's build took a lot out of me. That was a pretty hard, long build. So I decided to take a little bit of break. Well, today, I'm starting a new project, but it's something that is completely different. So, a while back on one of my videos, I talked about how a lady passed away. She was a very nice lady, did whatever for whoever, and she was just all around awesome person. Today, I'm going to start a canister Damascus to make a memorial plate for the family. I'm going to start with the canister. Well, since she really liked working at the job, and it was pretty funny. The conversation that she had with HR was pretty cool. But she was dedicated to the job. I talked to my job, and we decided to do this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take these masonry bits. These are bad ones. They ain't no good. I'm going to cut them up, put them in this can, and hopefully get a really cool Damascus pattern out of it. Then, once I get the plate forged out, I'm going to electro etch a couple things on the plate, and then I'm going to etch the whole thing to bring that Damascus pattern out. First thing I got to do is cut all the carbide off the tips. No, there's a reason for it, and I'm not going to say why, because I don't know if it's a company secret or not, so I'm not going to say how the carbide bit is attached to the drill. Well, attached to the tool. Let's just put it that way. But I have to get them all cut off. There's stuff that they use to attach carbide to the bit that will mess the whole project up. So I gotta cut them all off. So I got some prep work to do. getting it all welded up. This thing is a brute. It is so heavy. I'm actually going to do a little bit of forging. It's not that late in the morning yet. So, I'm going to go ahead, get the forge lit up, get everything hot, and I'm going to forge weld this. Holy cow! There's definitely some issues. I cut a lot of the bad issues out of it. But I think it's definitely salvageable. Definitely there's a couple things I have to do. I have to watch my heat. I have to make sure I'm really hot. There were some sections in here that didn't do too good in forge welding. But as long as I get real hot, I think the press can get everything condensed down and get welded up. I'm going to go get the forge hot and move on. would be electro etching it. I didn't show a lot of the forging processes because there was still a lot I had to do, and I didn't want to be distracted by the camera. There was some internal issues. I found them, I cut them out. There was a couple little tiny flaws in it still, but if I keep cutting, it's going to completely wreck the whole entire project. But for the most part, everything's going smooth from here on out, hopefully. Electro etching is a process of taking a 12-volt electricity, putting it onto a piece of steel using water with electrolytes in it and cotton ball and etching an image onto steel. Prior of me making this video, I did my image. Might not be able to see it too well, but that is the image that I'm putting on here. Now, for that, I use my computer, my Cricut machine, and I get it cut out with the image I want. Sometimes it could take a couple minutes, sometimes it could take a couple hours because you gotta clean the image up and get ready to cut. That's step one of electro etching. I'm going to pause the video for a second, get you set up over to the table, and I'll show you a couple other things that you're going to need to electro etch. Alright, now I got you set up on the table here, and I'm trying to give you the best shot that I could give you. And I think that's probably the best shot that I can get you. So, first things first, you want to have some kind of exposed metal, okay? But you want the side that you're etching on completely covered besides the image that you're trying to etch on. Next thing that you're going to need is a jumper box. This jumper box is quite a few years old. I got it for Christmas quite a few years ago, but it's not strong enough to jump a car battery anymore. But it's still strong enough to do what I wanted to do. Now, for this to work, you need a older jumper pack or one that is on the cheaper side. This one's older. I don't know how much person spent on it, but I could say it is up in age. So the power it puts out is not strong enough to jump a car anymore. But it works for what I want it for. What you want to do is you want to put your hot on the billet that you're working on. Okay. Then what you want to do is you want to get yourself some white cotton balls, a container full of water, just regular tap water, and put at least a tablespoon of salt inside the water and mix it up real good. Okay. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take, I like using the alligator clips as soon as I can get them tangled. I'm going to take your negative with the alligator clip on it. I'm going to take your cotton ball, saturate it down, and just kind of drain it out some. And you're going to take it, this is my hands work, put it on there like so, and just kind of tap it a little bit so you could get a little bit of a flat surface. Alright, so that's all done. Now, Now, you don't have to worry about too much about getting electrocuted. That's as long as I've been doing this, that has not happened to me. In a way, kind of what you're doing is you're shorting out you're shorting everything out. So you got your negative, the electricity is flowing right through the metal into the positive, and it's creating a short circuit, which causes the image to transfer onto the steel. Now, when you do this, you want to take your time with it. I do about 15 seconds per stroke. So if I'm doing my math right, I'm going to be here for every bit an hour or two. But I'm going to record at least a few minutes of this. And then I'm going to pause the video and continue on doing what I'm doing. I'm trying to go for a real deep etch on the steel. So let's get to it. I'm going to turn this on. I already pre-charged it, so I'll have this for a while. And all you do is just touch steel. Now, you're not going to hear this on camera, but what's happening is the water is reacting to the electricity and cause it to bubble. Now this creates a smoke. Give me 1 second here. Alright, so what happened was I ended up getting some water on this clip here, and while I was etching it, I was getting a little bit etching over here too, and I don't want that. So let's try this again. Dab and place. I like to hold it for at least 15 seconds. Alright. It would be nice if you see what I was doing, wouldn't it? There we go. See how that's black right there? That's a good sign. So that means you got real good connection. Now move it a tiny bit. 15 seconds. Now lift, place, now move a little bit. Alright, so I'm glad the camera caught it. I'm actually very surprised it did. That smoke that's coming off of there, try not to breathe that in. And one thing I did fail to mention, whenever you start this, wipe your billet off with at least 70% alcohol. This is 91% alcohol. Clean it off the best you can to get all the fingerprints off of it. Where was I at? It was at least right here. Alright, after every couple of stamps, just dip it in water. Let it drip it down a little bit. Then move on. Alright, it's nowhere near done. I'm going to do several passes over each section. So I start with this flower and butterfly and part of Jeannie's name. Alright, so I'm going to do that at least 5 times. I want to go over each pass. Now, see how black and dirty that is? I'm going to take it off my clip. Switch sides. Get it flat. Dip. Pat. Let's start up here again. That little rubber that's on there, that's your best friend because this wire gets real hot. That rubber will protect your fingers. So, start over. Alright guys, it's been like an hour since I had such a big image to do. It does take some time. Little thing about electro etching, which I'm hoping my wife gives me a new tool. Hint, hint, Joni. Alright, I'm looking at a new laser, which will make my life a whole lot easier whenever I'm doing this kind of stuff, which I don't do it too often. I think this is my 4th one, something like that. I think it is. I think it's my 4th one. But here's the thing. It is very easy to screw up on these. The hardness level of it from 1 to 10 is level 1000. Okay, if you don't cut your vinyl just right, or there's imperfections in the vinyl, or you don't lay it down nice and flat onto what you're trying to etch, there's also, you could etch one part more than the other, or etch it not deep enough. There's all kinds of variables. Here's the thing. Once you take this vinyl off, you're not putting it back on in the same spot that you were at. So what you got is what you got. Or you have to grind a whole billet, sand it smooth again, and start over. Which is a pain in the butt because it takes a while, it stinks, nasty. Look at my fingers. Okay, I should have been wearing gloves, but I almost never wear gloves and I get yelled at for it all the time. So, here's the reveal. I just hope I did it right. There's one side, man, it's like opening up a present. A present that you're very scared to open. I'm telling you right now, if I mess this up, I'm going to be very mad. Now, of course, you know, the vinyl has to tear, which will make my life a whole lot harder. That's right, because I'm taking it to a buffing machine anyhow. So that's one of the things you will need is a buffing machine. So this way here, you could get all the vinyl off and get cleaned up. Oh yeah, definitely. There's so much vinyl on there, it's ridiculous. So far, looks like it did alright. I'm going to pause the video for a minute, get this cleaned up. That's what it looks like so far. Once I take it over there, get it cleaned up, we'll see what it looks like. I'll be right back. So before I show you guys this, because I am completely stunned on how well it came out. During the movie Spider-Man, Peter Parker's aunt told him, with great power comes great responsibility. Well, with blacksmiths, with great talent comes great gifts. The gift of success. I'm absolutely stunned on how well this came out. And I'm hoping and praying that you guys can see this. If I have to, I'll move you. But look at that. That is pretty. And it came out just like the image I had on the vinyl. I was a little worried about that. So when I first started it, the water pulled up the vinyl a little bit. And I was worried about when I was etching it, it would mess things up and I was going to have to regrind it, clean it up, re-sand, all that happy. I was so worried about that. But, man, it came out so beautiful. And my supervisor had a great image herself. She gave me a prototype, but I could not get it cleaned up enough to be able to feel comfortable cutting it out and etching it. This one took me a couple hours on the computer to get the image cleaned up enough to where I could cut it comfortably. My vinyl machine, whenever it cut it out, I had it set too deep and it was pulling the vinyl up. So I had to do a lot of cleanup on there too. Well, I laid this down, man, that came out so nice. But we're not done yet. Still have to etch it. I'm going to go get something real quick. I'll be right back. I might use my ferric chloride. What I have left of it anyhow, I don't have much left. Which that might be another video on how to make your own ferric chloride for the smiths that do follow me. Because that stuff is very expensive. I know a cheaper way to do it. It costs more, but you get more. So, I'll be right back. Alright, so I found a container. And I hope, and I'm praying that I got enough ferric chloride to do what I need to do. But first things first, before you etch your Damascus, you want to clean it. So, take my rubbing alcohol here. I'm going to clean off all my fingerprints, any dirt, anything that's on here. Because what will happen is you won't get a clean etch, and it will cause you problems later. Get this all cleaned up. Now I bet you I have more sealed powder than I do Damascus. Now I think I know why that happened. Whenever my boss went and packed the canister, because I was only allowed so much due to company rules, it was tight. Well, I had to cut the carbide off, which made everything loose, and I ended up using more steel powder than I did the drill bits. Well, I think that caused me to have more of less of it. It caused me to have less of a pattern. So, see what happens. I got inside my container, I just got some like used Q-tips. I'm going to put the billet on top. Bring you over. Kind of like so. Now I'm going to pour in, sorry I'm shaking around so much. I'm going to pour in my ferric chloride, and I'm hoping and praying that I got enough, and I think I do. I think I got just enough to do what I got to do. So I'll be right back. Give me about 20 minutes. In your time, it'll be in the next clip. Alright, so it's all done etching. Next thing that you want to do is, after you're done etching it, make sure you use Windex. Okay, don't use a cheap window cleaner. Get Windex. I know it's more expensive, but use Windex. Trust me on that. All you're going to do is spray it down. The reason for spraying it down is to neutralize the acid on there. Because what will eventually happen is it will start rusting. And I think I explained this in one of my other videos. You want to make sure you neutralize that acid. If not, like I said, it'll start rusting it, causing issues, stuff like that. You don't want none of that. So just spray on, wipe it down, and then initially I'm not 100% done yet, even though I am done. I'm going to probably throw some clear coat on here, just get cleaned up some, or, well, keep it from rusting. The person that is going to, I don't expect her to keep it nice and oiled. So, that's about it. I want to see what my buffing will do to this, because it is pretty dark. Right now. There we go. There is right there. There's a Damascus pattern. It's not like how I was expecting it to be. I was expecting to see the spirals in the drill bit. I see a little bit, but it's not as pronounced as I thought it would be. Thing is with Damascus, you just don't know what you're going to get until you etch it. It's always random. You will never get the same pattern twice. It doesn't matter how hard you try. You will never get the same pattern twice. Now, this does answer one thing though. A while back ago, me and my uncle was talking about something, and we were talking about using drill bits. Well, he did some research on a couple forums, and everybody kept saying that, oh, the drill bit will crack, the drill bit will crack, right? I use drill bits in here. I do got one little residual crack right up here. And that's just from not forge welding right. It is on both sides, but it's not. I can't see through it. I'm okay with that. But other than that, the rest of this is completely forge welded. And I did drop this billet by accident after heat treatment. And it did fall on a hammer on his side here. And I was like, oh no. Oh no. Nothing happened. So, that answers the question. Can you use drill bits in a canister Damascus? So far, I answered that question. Yes, you can, but this is masonry bits. High-speed bits might be a little bit different. I have a whole lot of really bad shot drill bits. I might test that theory. But I'm going to take this to the buffing wheel real quick and see what happens. I'll be right back. Alright, I took it to the buffing wheel, cleaned it up some. Now I can really see that pattern. I actually got more of the pattern of the drill bits. Now, can't tell they were drill bits at one time, but knowing I put the drill bits in there, I could see a few of the spirals if I look at it real close. Now I'm going to take a picture of it and show you guys. I'll take a picture of it in the house. With it'll be different kind of light, so I might be able to get a better picture of it. But oh, you can see it just fine. Look at that. That came out beautiful. I love it. Next thing I'm going to do is one thing I thought of. Give me a second here. Alright, so my next thing was, how are they going to hang it? Yes, I drilled 2 holes in it. One there, one there. Leather. I want to go and feed it through. I don't know if this is the way I want to put it in there yet. I don't know. We'll see. Put it in there like so. Pull it through. And then maybe if I do this, send it through like so. This video, I completely lost audio. This video meant a lot to me. The project meant a lot to me. I want to thank everybody that made this happen. And I want to thank the bosses for letting me do this project. Have a good one, guys. See you on the next video.